Welcome to Memorial Day at the Battleship. Was it a bad idea to come to a war memorial on Memorial Day? Probably. Also, it looks like it's gonna rain. This is gonna be a real exercise for me in not being awkward while recording in front of 1,000 people. Those are some loud-ass flags. Now, of course, the reason we're all here. The Camp Snap Pro. What's the difference between this one and the other one? It can hold 4 filters, and this is 16 megapixels. The end. That's the only difference. Oh, and the flash is an actual flash now instead of just an LED. You've survived the specs portion of the video. Build-wise, I think it's stupid that this is 2 different fonts. Why is that like that? And also you can see the silver paint is already being chipped off just from being in my pocket for a couple days. Not exactly robust, but it's just plastic like the other ones. I've already reset the filters on here to be for custom ones that I found online. I put a little thing on the back to let me know which one is which. And that's about it. Let's go explore a battleship in 200-degree heat. The Camp Snap Pro has slots for 4 filters. These are the 4 filters that I chose. I didn't use the ones that came with it because I didn't care for them. They were fine, but they weren't what I wanted. So I just looked up Camp Snap Pro filters. Same thing I did with the last Camp Snap. They said they use different file type name things as the regular Camp Snaps, but they were the same and they worked for me, so I don't know. But I stumbled across this thing, Lab Archive Volume 1. And it's 23-ish different filters, and the ones I used, I believe for the standard filter, I just used this one, neutral, because that makes sense. For Vintage 1, which I've labeled Cyber, I think I used this one, Street Cool, because kind of reminds me of the Matrix. For Vintage 2, which I've labeled Pastel, I believe I used this one, Isle of Ochre. And then I believe for the black and white filter, I use this, Moody Black and White. I used to, on the old Camp Snap, use one called Milky Blacks, which I love, but I figured why not use a black and white from this pack, and this was the closest to it. I like really high contrast black and white. I'm sure you can replace the black and white filter with whatever color you want. On the knob, it just says standard, vintage, and black and white. I think that was a mistake. I think it should have just been like a picture of a dot or something that were like 1 dot, then 2 dots, 3 dots, 4 dots or something like that. Because I think labeling it just felt kind of artificially constricting, if that makes sense. Because now I look at it and I'm like, okay, well this filter has to be sort of a neutral one, the standard filter. Then I get 2 to play with color-wise, and then I have to have a black and white, which of course I don't, but it would have been nicer to have a more ambiguous naming system or something, I don't know. I will say that the on-off/filter changing dial, there's like 0 resistance to it, so it's constantly turning and changing in my pocket. These may look like anti-artillery weapons, but they're actually just giant bubble blowers. You sit on the uncomfortable chair, you row the little wheel thing, and then bubbles fly out. I like that it's surrounded in smelly, smelly swamp. And there's downtown Wilmington, a smelly, smelly swamp. I shot the majority of these on the sort of Matrix filter because it was like dark and rainy and I thought it might lend well to that. Same with the black and white, but the one I actually liked the most and the one I shot the least was the Isle of Ochre filter, because it just like totally transformed the scene into like this like idyllic golden paradise kind of looking thing, and it looks really interesting. What business do you think he's doing? You'd think they'd be able to afford better railings than just steel cable. That is a gigantic tire iron. I think this switch operates the flash. There's 3 settings. This is off. I don't know what the other 2 are. But here's a dark place with a bunch of dust graffiti. As expected, even though they replaced the flash with an actual flash instead of just a little LED, the flash was worthless. I actually think that this picture was darker using the flash than it would have been if I hadn't used it. That's it. Oh my god, look at this. Incredible. This is the big typewriter they would use to send messages to other ships. This one's the big spotlight they would use to call Batman. He doesn't work in Wilmington though, so it never really worked. If it isn't the bridge. They don't even have any cars in here. How can you call yourself a bridge? Less steam ahead, Captain. I don't know how you're supposed to operate out of these tiny windows. You can't even see the back of the boat. Now these are railings. Way better than those steel cables they got down on the main deck. There's the bridge room right there. It's such a long boat. This here is the Hall of Mail Slots. Each one specifically designed to hold a single letter. This has gotta count as a low light shot, and I did it without the flash, so we'll see how that turns out. Of course, just like with the last Cam Snap cameras, after you take the picture and hear you have to like freeze up till you hear the shutter sound go away, and then I usually freeze up for like an extra second or 2 beyond that, otherwise it'll be blurry. This is the business office on the ship. In 1945 they had the Keurigs and the flat screen TVs and stuff. They were living the life on this thing. You can't go up inside these big bubble blowers, but there's 0 room to maneuver when you're in there. And these, of course, are the most giantest chain links in the world. Look at these boys. Hold on, check this out. In case you're wondering, that's a size 12 shoe. Imagine sailors, whatever that guy in the background's saying. This is the long hallway of oval doors. They keep a couple beds in here just in case you get tired walking down the long hallway. That one's just a lie. That says blue and that's a red light. Freaking lie. I gotta take a picture of it to prove you're alive. Here, of course, is the alien power cell. As you can see, it runs on 450 horses. Aliens are cruel to horses. Now I'm in a bit of a cafeteria on the inside. So it's a perfect time to put on a diffusion filter. That's not going to cause any problems. It does have a filter thread on it, but it's 37 millimeters and all my filters are 58. So I 3D printed a step-up ring. Welcome to the engine room, where they keep all the heat. Only 140,000 pounds. Light work. Only 440 volts. Light work, literally. I had to get out of there. Oh, tripped. For medical reasons. So I do like the camera. naturally. I carry it every day now. I've had it for about a week or two. I used to carry the V05, the Camp Snap V105, sorry. I have a video on that, and I guess this one's just better in every way. Its main draw is that it can hold more than one filter at a time, and that's all I wanted the other one to do. And it was stupid that it couldn't, especially since it had buttons on it that you could have programmed to use to swap between filters. But this one works, and it's pretty much the same as the old one. It's just got a higher fidelity, kinda, and it's slightly bigger. I also had to 3D print a lens cap for it, and this is what it looks like when it goes on.